Hi, Uwe. Good morning, dear.
Good morning, Manvir. Good to see you. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for taking this call, taking this session early morning for you. How are you doing?
I'm great. I just, woke up and felt really energized about having the opportunity to speak with you and to share, about growth mindsets. I'm really excited about that.
Thank you so much. And I'm very, very, very curious to talk on this particular topic how to have a better family connect as a high performing leader, growth mindset conversations. Thank you so much and welcome everyone. If you can see us live, please send us a comment or a thumbs up so that we know that we are live. So it'll be great if you can send us a hi, wave, so, welcome everyone for joining me to episode 40th of Growth Mindset Conversation. Oh my God, I'm very happy. It's episode 40. So, cool. So, please join me in welcoming our guest today, Uwe Dockhorn. So, let me introduce Uwe Dockhorn to all of you. Uwe Dockhorn is the CEO at Liberating Lifestyles and the founder of the AIM Experience, a three-step transformational experience for in-demand professionals and their spouses or life partners. He believes in cultivating the internal certainty and clarity that improves your outcomes financially in business and emotionally in relationships. What motivates him daily is to see that working out with his clients in delivering more than 17,000 live sessions on the AIM experience worldwide in the last 14 years. Uwe has worked with high achievers and their very important partners in almost every industry, role, lifestyle, helping them achieve lasting results in 8 hours or less. We are very pleased to have you, Uwe. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure this is a topic of real interest to many professionals, including me here.
Well, thank you so much. And, also congratulations to you for this episode. So this is
Thank
amazing.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you
I feel
so
honored to
much.
be here.
Thank you. And thanks to all of you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Satyendra Chauhan. Thank you, everyone who are joining us live. And if you are watching this episode as a recording, thanks to you for tuning in. Thank you. So let's get started. Uwe, as you know, that the show is called Growth Mindset Conversations. And my first curiosity or a question always to the guest is that to understand what is growth mindset for you?
Well, in essence, it's your capability to broaden your personal scope of brilliance while feeling self-propelled. And let me explain. So it's kind of like driving a convertible with automatic transmission. And so you cruise along, kind of like enjoy the speed and the excitement of driving in a convertible automobile. And sometimes you need to use the brakes to slow down. And when you want to move on, you simply need to loosen the brakes and you automatically move on. So it comes down to choice. But, too many people have blockages and false beliefs that are standing in their way or sitting on their shoulders. And it's kind of like having a 800-pound gorilla sitting on your shoulders. Just imagine that for a moment. And you
Yeah.
don't know what to do or how to escape that constant feeling of pain and not being able to move on. And it would be easy to just leave that weight, but it isn't, right? So
Yeah.
I know that feeling, and I believe you know that feeling. And, I was there too. So I literally was standing at the edge of a bridge and felt that weight. And is it okay if I talk about how I learned to deal with that? And it's also the reason why I do what I do and why I help, these families with their growth mindset. Is that okay, Nambir?
Absolutely, Uwe. If it's value
Okay.
to our audience, please let's go on.
That's wonderful. So I was hoping for that answer because it's really valuable to all your listeners out there. You see, 6 days before Christmas 2016, my mother died. And I always cherish that I was there for her, holding her hands when she left. I loved my family and it was my safe haven. Although they gave me their love and protection as a young boy, I was sexually abused and told no one. Then my uncle and his wife got divorced, and after I lost two very important family members, my uncle when I was 16 and my father when I was 23, something, yeah, just broke inside of me. And I started to believe that the remaining members of my family had just given up on me. I distanced myself from them, even my mother, because I felt I couldn't risk opening up to them. So I became isolated, separated from friends, lost my job, was overwhelmed, physically and emotionally exhausted. And I felt there was no reason for being in this world. And, I wasn't sad or angry. And the truth is, I didn't feel anything at all. And that's when I found myself on the edge of a bridge. It was one cold winter night, and I could see my breath as I slowly leaned forward. And I let go. But at that moment, something happened. For the very first time since my father had died, I felt something inside me. And it drew me back from jumping. It literally saved my life. And that night, I learned an important lesson. I realized that transformation requires more than letting go of the status quo. So without the other half of the equation, letting go just leaves you in free fall. And, if all I had done on that bridge was let go, then I would not be here talking to you today. So you're probably wondering, what is the other half? Well, well, the second half of the equation is to feel, perceive, and let in what is already there. Letting go and letting in, it's a two-part mechanism, and they're only complete as a pair. On that bridge, all those years ago, I let in a small spark that grew into a powerful flame. And I made myself a promise, and I'm still keeping it today to make it my life's mission to help others learn this secret. Because letting go and letting in is crucial for your well-being and your family's happiness. Letting in energy, positive thoughts, and a sense of certainty. Letting go of self-doubt, fear, negativity, and stress. It really is that simple. And the more you do it, the more it happens. It's like a switch that you can consciously flip to strengthen and re-energize your relationship with your
Yeah.
partner every single day. So,
Yeah.
and this also, your letting go and letting in switch is also what becomes your own anti-burnout system. Just imagine that for a moment, right? So,
Wow.
and that's
Wow.
that's why, also, if you just stay on the surface and consider why mindfulness exercises only work up to a point, because being mindful of your present is not the same as understanding the past programming that lingers in your subconscious mind. So, and that's why resilience training programs don't prevent burnout, because you can't become truly resilient, to current events while your past programming influences your behavior. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I see you're nodding. So your conditioning and patterns are the deep-seated reason you and your partner don't feel like equals. They're the reason your differences in your relationship are a problem, instead of a catalyst for, as I call it, unshakable togetherness. And, to restore this eye-to-eye intimacy with your partner without spending years in relationship therapy or family counseling, I coach both partners separately and bring your personal development steps together regularly so you can level up to each other and reclaim your deeper connection and have a respectful relationship that thrives and survives. So, and then
Absolutely. Mm.
my clients, they
Yeah.
love these sessions. We call them also evaluation sessions, but they're actually more like falling back in love sessions.
Yeah, I'm sure. And thank you so much, Uwe, for sharing your story. And I love the concept of letting go and letting in, and consciously letting go at the same time. So if we, although you have answered half of my next question, so in your experience, what do high performing leaders miss on when it comes to their family relationships? What are these people losing in terms of their long term, short term goals? What's happening there? Because many people experience unhappiness when they are performing at their best, when they are at the leadership best, when they're at their best of career stages. So they feel unhappiness around their homes, around their partners. So what do you think? What are they missing on?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so true. And, just to go a little deeper here on what we just, what I just said is that, you know, for you as the audience, so possibly just diving into the situation when this might occur, possibly you're feeling disconnected from your partner, and you arguing with each other, or even though you don't intend to, and experience also a lack of passion, so everything feels routine and mundane, and you know that things are not quite ideal, and you can feel that, you can sense that, but what you don't have yet is a clear plan for what to do about it. And of course, I can help with that. But you see, too often, the problem is that the majority of the money is typically contributed by only one person, the high earning, high achieving partner. Or if you are the very important partner, the VIP, who contributes a great amount in many, many ways, but not in the form of money. So if you're the VIP, you can end up feeling dependent or undervalued if you believe that contributing to the family income is important. Then you're going to feel frustrated if you're not fulfilling that. So what's even worse is that, as the VIP in your relationship, you may feel abandoned, while the high earning partner has a sense of achievement and progress in their
Yeah.
career and life. The VIP is getting left behind. So
Yeah.
they're asking, what about me? What are the next steps in my career? What does my future look like? And is my partner going to be there to see it? Or will they be too busy working? So the two of you no longer see eye to eye because of the sense of imbalance in your contributions and the recognition you receive for those contributions. And, uh, over time, the feelings of inequality, frustration, and loneliness grow, and making the gap between you larger, and you find yourself in anguishing arguments over and over. And this does not have to be the end, right?
Of course, it doesn't have to be the end. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I think you bring a great point. One of them is contributing more with respect to money, with respect to status, and maybe that is the difference. But, sometimes we have families where both the partners are working and they are contributing to the family income, to the status. I mean, both these cases, I see time is time and focus. I see they have made complaints, time and focus, that you're not focusing on family, you're not focusing here. So, and some prioritization. Time is one of the major complaints, when it comes to families and performance of family as families. What do you think, what can they do about this to make their family ties and understanding?
Yeah, so it just ties to back what I said, why I coach them separately and essentially at the same time, because the reason why I'm doing this is so we can work on their independence in their relationship. So, and first, because it's really the moment to get this imbalance straight. So you get back to being eye to eye with each other. And
Mm-hmm.
therefore, we work on both sides at the same time, not together. We bring it together in these evaluation sessions or these falling back in love sessions. But, when they go kind of like when they coming into the session, into the falling back in love sessions, they say, oh, I see why I often trigger you with my unresolved patterns. And with each gain in that understanding of themselves and each other, they build a closer, more intimate, more energized relationship. And so working on your independence within the relationship is the first step to get to that better understanding of each other and the support for each other, and also feeling safe and not feeling abandoned, but also supported by the help of the other. So therefore, the growth to get you grow together as equals. So essentially, what I do, what I specialize is in helping you your personal growth within the relationship, so that you can
Mhm.
level up to each other. And that is kind of like the first step, is really being aware that, yeah, there are imbalances, but
Yes.
there, we can do something about it. And it starts with your own independence within the relationship.
Yeah, that's very important that, we have some imbalances, we have something to work upon. Let's together work on this. Yeah, I think that's very great point. I'm very curious here to ask, do you feel resistance in people while working on this? Because, it looks like, especially leaders, high performing leaders, who are really, really doing good at their work, they feel that they know it all. So, do you feel resistance somewhere when people work on these kind of things?
Yeah, on both sides. So because
Hmm.
it's not usual that you talk about these things, and this is also kind of like,
Yeah.
when you end up in engaging arguments, because you're not taking because you're taking yourself out of the equation. So that's the
Yeah.
reason behind that, because you always see yourself as this togetherness. Yeah, but I also enforce or empower unshakable togetherness. But you have to go back to yourself first. And yeah, there's a resistance, and from the leader, the executive perspective, or the breadwinner side, so to speak, and often is like, so they feel guilt sometimes to just come home, and therefore they spend more time at work, and they justify it with saying, yeah, but I do this all for us. So here it is again.
Mm.
It's the us versus like, what do you want, and is this okay with you? And so therefore, and if you go on the other side, it's similar. So why don't you spend more time with me and the family? So it's kind of like also bridging into that us feeling of the family, and you're not taking care of the family, of us as a family. So we have to be very cautious about that. And so the hesitance is there. Yes, agreed. And I'm there to make them aware that there is more to that. There are other solutions, essentially, to deal with that, because I'm not a family counselor, I'm not a family therapist. Because what they do, they put them always together as the us, and not seeing kind of like the perspective of each individually.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
that is the hesitation, but it's also the solution is behind that hesitation. It's just a little bit, and you just let go of the hesitation and embrace, as I said earlier, the letting in part. Like, so, okay, what can I do about that to make it better, so we succeed and thrive?
Yeah. Yeah. Great point. Thank you. Please free to all my audience here. Please feel free to put in comments as what you think on the topic. What is your experience with you, with your clients, with your partners, and also if you have any questions to ask to Uwe, do drop in a message or whichever media, LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube you are watching us. I will take your question to Uwe for sure. And Uwe, as we are coming to the end of our time together, what is one thing, maybe a mindset or anything else, you can suggest our audience so that they can take away something and implement something to have a better family connect as high performing professionals and leaders?
Well, one of the biggest issues is often fear. And so I I always ask my clients at one point, can you imagine a scale? And Mambia, if you're okay with that, I just want to do this together with you so we can make it more visible to our audience. Is that okay with you?
Perfect. I'm all game. I don't know what you're going to do, what we are going to do, but yes,
Let's have
let's
some
do
fun.
it. Let's have some
Wonderful.
fun.
Wonderful. So just can you imagine a scale? And I let them draw a line. So we can do this imaginary on this side, but just if you have a sheet of paper and a pencil, just draw a line. And on the left
Okay,
side of the scale is fear. You write down fear on the left side of that scale.
done.
And then I
Okay,
ask, okay, so you have that. So what is on the other side of that scale? One side is fear. What is on the other side? What do you think?
courage, courage.
Good, good, all good. Nothing is wrong here. Well, what we need to focus on here, it's trust. So we have on the one side, we have fear, and on the other side, we have trust. So then I ask you to imagine, where are you right now in this very moment on that scale? So are you more closer to fear? Are you closer to trust, or just right in the middle? So where are you, Manbir, right now?
With respect to what, so do I need to
Doesn't
imagine a
matter how you
situation
feel
or
right now. Yeah, just right now, how you feel in this moment.
I'm more towards trust, I guess, right now.
Good. Okay.
That's
So
where
then
the gut
just,
feeling goes.
yeah, exactly. So just make that kind of like that mark, imaginary
Done.
inside, or you put it down in front of you. Okay, good. Well done. Half of it is done already. So now imagine below there is another line, but this time it's an arrow that starts from the left and goes to the right. So you have the arrow on the right side. Now, the left side gets a 0 and the right side gets the infinity symbol. That's the 8 lying on its side. Okay? You have
Okay.
that?
Okay.
Good.
Yep.
So now I ask you, how is the second line, the arrow below, related to the one above that goes from fear to trust? Just name it. What do you think it is?
It's the flow in one particular direction.
Yeah, this is implied. Yes, there's an arrow, but how would you call that arrow? So we have kind of like fear, trust, and there's this missing component. What is that?
For me,
To together.
it's,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead. You want to say something?
No. Go ahead.
For me, it's kind of love, respect, those kind of feelings. That's what it is. I mean, that's what I'm feeling right now. Respect. If it's relationship with partner, love, respect. Those kind of things.
Wonderful. All is true. And beneath that is something more important. And that what we need here to understand. Well, it's energy. So that means every time when you go up there and you feel you are closer to fear, you lose energy. And every time you decide to trust, you gain energy. It's simple, right? So just imagine that for a moment, kind of like,
Yeah.
and what helps you to make that decision, and now we're connecting the dots from what you've learned earlier, is let go of fear and let in the trust that is already there waiting for you
Yeah.
to move ahead and master the situation that you're in. And it's just universally working in every kind of situation. And and I call this a secret vitality formula. And it essentially is E for energy equals T for trust minus F for fear. So now you can write it down. E equals T minus F. There you have it. It's actually a formula that you can easily remind yourself and do this little exercise whenever you need it. I hope this is
That's
helpful.
wonderful. That's wonderful. We have, you know what? I'm very happy that, for the leaders here who are watching this show or who will be watching this show, they do a lot of processing from the rational mind and they have the formula. They can actually apply the formula and see where they are. Awesome, Uwe. Thank you so much. This is really wonderful. How can people find you, Uwe? Where can they reach you?
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. So just easy go to www.uwedockhorn.com. That's UWEDOCKHORN.com. And you're going to be updated with all the things I do. I do monthly live demonstrations of how I help my clients. There's an online live Goosebumps event coming up in January. And so there's a lot of stuff going on. Just go there. You find case studies there, and soon also some a quiz. And so that's always the best place to start with. Also, look to my podcast, Lift Off with Energizing Results, where we publish 3 times a week. So we constantly give value to our community.
Thank you. Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. I'm sure, it has really, really been a valuable session to everyone. Thank you for sharing your very valuable insights on this very interesting topic, which has not really been talked about, frankly speaking, much in industry. So I'm very happy that we are speaking on this today. I really appreciate your time and the value you have created, Uwe, for us today.
Oh, thank you. It was my pleasure. Thank you so much, Mambia.
Thank you. And thanks again, everyone. And I look forward to seeing all of you in the next episode of Growth Mindset Conversations very soon. Keep learning, keep reflecting, keep acting, and keep on growing. Thank you. Bye, Uwe. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye.